وسلم على النبي الكريم. As mentioned earlier, after Salat al-Asr and last week as well, that today will be our final khatira on Spain, and today we'll be discussing the reasons why, you could say the rise and falls of Spain, the reason why Spain collapsed. I'm going to mention only three, because otherwise it can be too long, just three inshallah. And these are all from the scholars who stayed in Spain. For example, Imam al-Qurtubi, rahimahullah ta'ala, the two Qurtubi. One is Imam Qurtubi the student, one is Imam Qurtubi the teacher. So the very first reason why the ulama mentioned that Spain collapsed, number one is an inhiraf an-din. This is the first thing they mentioned. That people, they started to deviate from the religion. So subhanAllah, for example, when the Muslim went in 7-11, within the first 10 years, I said to you, the entire country, every single one of them, either heard about Islam, the details about Islam, or they have embraced Islam. You could imagine what has happened. And then, in 756, when Abdurrahman al-Dakhil, he entered into Spain, when Abdurrahman al-Dakhil came to Spain, and then in 758, he became the Amir, they gave him alcohol. The Muslims, in the palace, they gave him wine to drink. So, obviously he didn't drink it, but the Muslims are giving him, our Amir, you're going to be your Khalif now, you're going to be your Amir now. And they made all this, wine for him and alcohol for him to drink. So before I even said, I'll tell you what Abdurrahman al-Dakhil said, very beautiful answer he gave. But the fact that they offered him tells you what has happened within. And this is like the 46 years from 7-11 to now, or 46 to 47 years. Within that year, what has happened? People, they've forgotten the most important teaching of Islam. What's going on here? The first generation, we have Tariq bin Ziyad and Musa bin Nusayr and all. What's happening now? 45 years later, people are changing already. So Abdurrahman al-Dakhili gave a very beautiful answer. He said, what's this? He said, this is how we want to welcome you. This is from fresh. We made it here. This wine is from the grapes and everything. We made it here. This is for you. We would like to, you to drink and enjoy this. He said, in order for me to establish the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this country and to create an Islamic dynasty, I need something that will increase my aql, not something that will decrease my aql. I need something that will increase my intellect, not something that will decrease my intellect. I will never ever go against the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is haram, move it away from me. So, but from this you can understand that people already have changed. Imam al-Qurtubi, Abu al-Abbas al-Qurtubi, the teacher of Imam Qurtubi, the one who wrote tafsir. I'm talking about the teacher. He saw when towards the end of this Andalus time, 656 Hijri, I'm talking about, he passed away. Just before that, he went to Egypt. He migrated to Egypt because he couldn't take it anymore. When he went there, so in his book, he wrote a commentary of Muslim. In the commentary of the Muslim, he wrote that people, they ask why Islam collapsed, or the Muslim, and the dynasty collapsed in Spain. Well, one thing I would like to say, which I observed with my own eyes, لِشُيُوعِ الْفَوَاحِشِ, the widespread of immorality. He said the young people were doing zina, they were drinking alcohol, they were just spending more and more time listening to music and dancing with women and stuff like that. They didn't care about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hukum. As for the elders, they were okay with it. They just found a comfort. They didn't do amar bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. They didn't call towards good, forbid from evil. Sometimes you see munkar happening in your own house. You are a father. You're going to allow the munkar to happen in your own house. You're wrong. As a father, you got to take responsibility. Your duty is not to accept. Silence staying quiet is the silence is an approval. So this is what you as a responsible one, as a father, as a husband, as a responsible person, you have to talk about this. We are not saying that you do something talk about this. Bring some changes. Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi. If you see a munkar, you got to change it with the hand if you can. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. If you can't use the hand, use the tongue. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ. If you can't use your hand or your tongue, then you got to make an intention. You have to make a plan that I'm going to change it with my heart. Think in a better way. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. That's the most weakest iman. So the people, because of the elderly people and the ulama and the scholars, they were very quiet about it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he went to Jerusalem, Al-Quds, he was wearing some clothes that it wasn't appropriate to meet the wuzara according to some. He said, Amir al-Mu'mineen, you're going to meet the patriarch. He's going to give you the key. Look at the way you dressed up. You're supposed to dress something very smart. He said, Ya Abu Ubaidah. Abu Ubaidah is the one asking this question. Inna kunna adalla qawmin fa'azzana Allahu bil Islam. What are you talking about? Do you think the clothes and my donkey and camels and horse give us izzah? We were so humiliated. Allah gave us honor because of Islam. Islam gave us honor. Always remember Abu Ubaidah. This is like he's talking to all of us. Umar said, فَمَهْمَا نَطْلُبُ الْعِزَّ بِغَيْرِ مَا أَعَزَّنَا اللَّهُ أَذَلَّنَا اللَّهُ. Whenever we look for honor and dignity, with that, by leaving Islam behind us, Allah will humiliate us. If you lose your key in Khan Hall Masjid, you start looking for it in Bradford, for example, you're not going to find it. You lost it here, look for it. We lost our honor in Islam. Let's practice Islam. Be proud of our Islam, like our ancestors in Spain, inshallah. Then you see how the hukum and how the nasr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala come. The first one is al-inhiraf. The second one is turaf, which basically means falling in love with in luxury. Everyone wants to build a palace. Everyone wants to build a house like that. You know, it happens like this. The ulama, they mentioned when Walid ibn Abdul Malik became Khalifa, everyone used to say, oh, you know, how many bedrooms do you have? How beautiful is your house? How many rooms? Because Walid used to like building houses. Then his brother came, Sulaiman. They should say that, oh, what did you eat today? Because he was, you know, whenever you have a Khalif has this, you know, attitude, it has an effect on the people as well. So people say, so when Sulaiman became Khalif, it's like, oh, how many wives do you have? You know, how many wives do you have? Because Sulaiman was into women and everything like that. And then Umar bin Abdul Aziz became Khalifa. Everyone said, oh, how many Quran you read today? How many Jews you read today? An-nasu ala dini muluki. People follow the religion, people follow the ways of the kings, rulers. So, you know, all the people in Andalus at that time, they were into luxury. Talking about it like that. One of the Khalif, Abdul Rahman al-Nasir, he built the most beautiful palace in Madinat al-Zahra. And then he decorated the roof with gold. Can you imagine gold on the roof? And then he's telling everyone, I don't think anyone built a palace still today with gold all the way. Imagine this masjid, you have gold all the way from beginning to end. So I don't think anyone has built any palace in the world with gold roof. So one of the imam was there. He said, this is not something to be proud of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a warning in the Quran saying that the disbelievers, they desire to have roof with gold and silver. We are not disbelievers, Amir al-Mu'mineen. He goes, oh, you have advice. He goes, okay, take the gold, take the silver up. He goes, give this gold and silver to the fuqara, the Muslimin. They are in need of gold and silver, not this roof. So many people, why do they get a chandelier in the masjid? Brother, it costs 40,000 pounds to get a chandelier in the masjid. Give this 40,000 pounds to some of the Muslims that they are suffering. They can't even eat and have water. What is the point of having a chandelier in the masjid? The day this masjid has a chandelier, I will not be an imam, inshallah. What is this nonsense? Wasting money in things that, give it to the fuqara. Don't waste, don't be extravagant in, this is what happened to them. Everyone, and now every single people, they want a 5-bedroom and 6-bedroom, and they were building, you know, this was happened. And everyone fell in love with luxury and turaf. That's the second reason. And the third reason is Allah forgive. By the way, history repeats itself. So start from number one. We have so many people deviated from the religion. In their own houses, mashallah, you know, their sons, they have girlfriend and the father is okay with it. This is Muslim house we're talking about. The son is, oh, I'm going to be with my friends, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. Where is he going? No one they don't care about it. This guy is going to club and people are okay with it. So this is munkar, is in our, don't think it's happening, history repeats itself. It's happening to us. What's going to happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's adab is not too far away. Secondly, we are the ones who's more into luxury as well. Allah has given you wealth, spend it, but stay within the boundary. And the third is a dangerous one. At-tanazzu' fima baynahum. In a dispute, Muslims were disputing with other Muslims. Racism started. The Yemenis that are fighting with the Qaisis. The Qais are saying that we are the real Arab, we're from Makkah and Medina. Hey, you're from Yemen, man, you're from Yemen. The Arabs are fighting one another. And then the Yemenis and the Arab, they got together, they said that you guys are from North Africa. You are the Berber. And these are all Muslims who actually fought to bring Islam into Spain. They started fighting one another. The inner dispute like that. Take a good look at the Muslims around the world now. All the Muslims are fighting one another now. These are the three reasons the ulama mentioned. Islam collapsed, in Spain, or let's say Muslims dynasty came to an end, and Imam al-Qurtubi, as I said to you, he was there, he witnessed all of this. He said that, you know what happened? When people, they loved sins, they enjoyed doing sins, and they thought, I'm doing the sins, I'm doing zina, but I don't see the punishment of God coming to us. I'm drinking alcohol, but I don't see the punishment of God coming to us. And they, when people start behaving like this, Imam al-Qurtubi goes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took this beautiful kingdom away from them and slapped them so that they learn a lesson like that. And he said that this is a lesson for everyone in history like that. That remember, when you ignore the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah will take this away from you. وَيَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ. Allah will choose someone else to practice His religion. Because Allah doesn't need me and you. Do you think when we do ruku and sujood, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will increase His majesty? No. Allah is bare niyaz, as-samad. He doesn't need any of us. He doesn't need our ibadah. He's got millions of angels, they are prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't ever think, I prayed 5 times salah. Allah, I've done so much for you. We've done nothing. We've done nothing. We do ibadat so that we get the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah doesn't need us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to ruminate. There are 10 points I want to say, but 3 is enough for now, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah give us the tawfiq to ruminate over all this. Jazakumullah khairan.